Hey everybody, I am your host Alad, reporting here in Pennsylvania outside of this Trump rally. Let's go talk to some of his supporters, see what's going on. We're out here today in Pennsylvania ahead of this Trump rally. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you guys decided to come out?
We're tired of the perpetual war.
Absolutely. What about you guys?
No more illegal immigrants.
Absolutely. What about you?
Yeah, tired of the immigrants.
Yeah.
Tired of those prices, bro. I need them Jones to go down now.
No more prices.
You guys are younger gentlemen. Is that the biggest issue that you guys are facing as kind of Gen Z voters here?
No, not really.
I pay for my own gas. I don't like it. It's too expensive.
Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like we all have an equal say here, old or young. I feel like we all have a big part in this, to be honest.
I want to ask, how has the last 4 years under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris been treating you guys?
Yeah, some bullshit.
Bullshit?
Terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
The prices, everything need to go down.
Yeah, I'm young, and this is my first time voting. Like, I got a car and shit. I pay for my own gas. That shit sucks.
I want to afford a house one day.
Yeah, I want to ask, Democrats focus a lot on abortion specifically, what they call women's health. Is that an important issue to you guys? Are you guys concerned at all?
It goes state from state. Doesn't matter. It's
That
a state
shit's
choice.
murder. That shit's murder. Why if I get an abortion, if a woman gets an abortion, it's not murder, but if a pregnant woman gets killed, it's a double homicide. That makes no sense.
Absolutely.
That makes no sense.
I want to ask, I see you're a person of color, obviously. In the media, Trump's constantly called racist. Have you heard that stuff, and what do you make of these arguments that Trump's racist?
I've never heard him say one racist thing in my life.
It's fake news. They edit things.
His campaign's been working hard to do outreach to the black community. Have you seen any of that stuff, and do you think it's effective at all?
Yeah, a little bit. There's a lot of black voters, a lot of black people going for Trump, so I'm happy. I'm happy for it.
Well, gentlemen, thank you guys for your time and enjoy the rally.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Is there a particular policy or something that Trump talks to that excites you the most?
I like all of his policy. I like no tax on tips. I like being the interest on autos being tax deductible. I like his policy with the border. That's my favorite. I think we need to deport all of the illegal immigrants, and I think that we need to take our country back.
Absolutely. I don't think it was since 2016 that Republicans haven't won here in Pennsylvania, a key swing state. What do they have to do differently this time around to win?
I believe that they don't have to do anything differently. I believe that Biden and Kamala have destroyed the government, and I think that's enough for us to win and turn the state red again.
Absolutely. I know originally it was Joe Biden who was the Democrats' pick, but then they swapped out Kamala Harris after a bad debate performance by Biden. What did you make of all that stuff?
I believe that was the government's basically, they were admitting that he was unsound, unfit, and not of the right mind to rule this country. But that took away the vote of all of those Democrats to put a candidate in there for president that they liked.
Were you happy to see the swap?
I'm happy because I think it's working out in our favor. And I think Kamala is, she's not the most intelligent person. She has no policies, and she's full of word salad.
If Kamala Harris were elected president, she'd be the first female president. You're obviously a woman. Does that mean anything to you, the final so-called glass ceiling?
That means nothing to me. I believe that women have tons of rights, and I think that we've come very far throughout history in terms of our rights, and I'm not voting on gender for a presidential candidate. I'm voting on who's going to get things done and who's going to save America.
Absolutely. The Democrats' big pitch has been nowadays about women's rights, so-called women's rights and abortion access. What do you make of that pitch to women? Is that an important issue to you?
I believe that Trump has turned it over to the states for the states to regulate it, and I believe that was the best decision to make.
Were you happy to see Roe v. Wade be overturned on the heels of Trump's Supreme Court appointees?
I was happy that it was handed over to the states.
Absolutely. Trump did pick J.D. Vance for his VP pick. What do you think of J.D.?
I love J.D. J.D. is great. He's been so well-spoken with the media. He defends Trump and his own policies very well, and he doesn't take any bullshit from them at all.
Interesting story behind J.D. A few years ago, he was actually a never-Trumper, but I guess now has seen the light. What do you make of that transformation, the evolution of J.D. Vance?
I think just like every other American, he's seen the devastation and the destruction of our country over the last 4 years, and he knows that Trump's the only person that's going to get it done.
In a recent New York Times interview, J.D. was asked if in 2020 he would have voted to certify the election. He said no. Are you happy with that answer?
I am very happy with it. I believe the election was stolen.
So we're out here today in Pennsylvania ahead of this Trump rally. Can you tell me a little bit more about what brought you out?
We like Trump. He represents our values, and I think he's gonna make America great again.
Absolutely.
So they're supporting him.
You said you like his values. He represents your values. Is there anything that he speaks to in particular that really excites you as a voter?
Yeah, all the policies align with what we believe, and he can be able to deliver it. That's why we are supporting him.
Absolutely. Have you guys supported him in the past, or are
This
you guys
is our first time?
first time
Yeah.
supporting him? What brought you guys around this time? This is the third time he's running.
No, we just got our citizenship here in America, so it's a big opportunity for us to vote and exercise our right as a citizen of this country.
Absolutely. It's funny because the Democrats and Kamala Harris have been calling Donald Trump a threat to democracy. Have you heard this stuff, and what do you
Yeah.
make of that when you hear that?
Yeah, I heard about that, but it depends on what news are you going to watch. But you really need to, if you look for truth, you have to find for it, not by just hearing it from others.
To follow up on that, many people in the media call Trump racist. Have you heard this stuff, and do you believe any of that?
No, I think I don't believe to be like being discriminated, being a racist or something. So we have equal opportunity in this country. So that's a good thing for us.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Kamala Harris. She's the current VP. What do you think about how her and Joe Biden are running the country?
I think they're not like really deliver what we expect for them to deliver. That's why we got a lot of stuff going on in the country. So that's one of the reasons why we are supporting Trump.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Last thing I wanted to ask you is, what would be your biggest fear under Kamala Harris administration if she were to be elected?
Our biggest fear is I don't know where I think she's a weak leader. So with Trump being president already, and he can be a good leader for us, and not only for the U.S. but throughout the whole world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much for your time. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
I think we're good.
Thank you
Very
so
good.
much, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Yep.
Thank you. A little bit more about why you decided to come out.
I'm here to support my mother. She's a huge Trump fan, and I just thought I should be there to support her. I'm undecided, so I like to hear both sides of each issues, and I'm open to hearing what President Trump has to say.
Absolutely. Is there something in particular he could do or say tonight to win you over as a voter?
I wanted to hear more about how he felt about the central banking system, and I know he's probably like the only president that I heard talk about that in the Federal Reserve, so I was really interested in hearing what he had to say about that. And I would also like to hear more about how he feels about black injustices in America. I really hear so many issues of people saying that Trump is racist, but I would like for him to talk on that subject in particular.
Many in the media do call him racist for years now. What's your reaction to that?
I don't trust the media and what they say. My mom is a very educated woman, and she believes in Trump, and I believe in my mom. So I'm here to support her, but I don't always trust what the media says, so I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask, you're obviously a female person of color. That's some of the Democrats' core constituency. What would you say to possibly reach out to Democrats who are people of color, who are sold on their message?
Just do your own research. Try not to be so biased. Try not to trust in everything that you hear on TV. Do your own research. And once you start doing your own research and going down that rabbit hole, you can make an honest opinion based off of that, And I feel like everybody deserves a fair chance. But Trump definitely has my attention when it comes to certain things that he talks about. And I just like how direct he is and how, not so, he doesn't just bow down to the media, and I like that.
If Kamala Harris were to be elected, she'd be the first black female president.
Yeah.
Is that important to you, the sort of
Yeah,
last
of
glass
course.
ceiling?
You know, just to break that stigma is huge. Just to even have a woman president, period. You know, women haven't been treated equally in this country for a long time, and I feel like Kamala Harris, you know, she may not be the woman for the job, but I do feel like it's time in America that we start listening to black women and what they have to say politically.
So we're out here today in Pennsylvania ahead of this Trump rally. Can you tell me a little bit more about what made you decide to come out?
It was local. I've been wanting to see Trump. I voted for Trump the first time around and second time around, and I want to see him in office this time around.
What in particular about Trump made you want to vote for him 3 times now?
Well, his values align with my values. If you can see my hat, I'm a Navy veteran, 17 years in the service. I fought to protect this country and keep it from socialism, and Trump's values align with my values in that regard.
Absolutely. Thank you for your service. I wanted to get, what's your reaction to many Democrats accusing Trump of being a threat to democracy?
I think they're more of a threat to democracy the way I see it. Their values seem to align with socialism.
Absolutely. Between that and January 6th, many Democrats are saying this sort of disqualifies him, that and all the cases against him. What do you make of these Democrats' effort to kind of disqualify Trump?
It's all a show. It's all a show. If you dig down deep enough, follow things closely enough, you'll see it's just a show. And they really don't want to see him in office because they're completely afraid of him and their abuse of and corruption of the system.
Absolutely. Let me ask, Joe Biden was the original Democrat pick until they had a bad debate and swapped him out for Kamala Harris. What did you make of that whole predicament?
I think Democrats should be upset that the man that they voted for in the primaries got pushed to the side, and they put in someone else who had no votes and no primary contender.
Well, are you happy to see them swap out Joe Biden for Kamala Harris? Do you care?
Well, I care to the fact that it just doesn't seem fair. It's not right. It's un-American to do it like that.
One of the major pitches from the Democrats about Kamala Harris is that she's a woman. She'd break the last so-called glass ceiling. Have you heard this stuff? What do you make of that?
In my opinion, it's the candidate, their policies for qualification, gender, race, ethnicity. None of that matters in this race. Your policies and your record is what matters to me.
One of the biggest policies that the Democrats are talking about this election cycle is so-called women's health and abortion access. What do you make of Democrats making that the key to their campaign, trying to appeal to women?
Democrats always seem to make abortion a national political debate for every federal election, and the Supreme Court did what they're supposed to do and kicked that down to the states. That's a states' rights issue, and that's where it belongs. It's not a federal issue.
Is that to say you were happy to see Roe v. Wade be overturned?
I'm not happy one way or the other. It doesn't really affect me, but I believe that they made the right decision in kicking it down to the states.
Absolutely. Last thing I wanted to hit on, if Kamala were to be elected, what would you fear most about a Kamala Harris administration?
Her ineptitude and her incompetence and her war on the Second Amendment.
Absolutely. Sir, thank you so much for your time. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
No, that's fine. That's good. Enjoy your day, and thanks for coming.
Thank you for your time, sir, and thank you again for your service.
Yep, sure thing.
Absolutely. Is there something particular about Trump that excites you as a voter?
Bringing everything back to the States. As far as fueling, I drive trucks for work and everything, and our prices skyrocketed for fueling trucks. Specifically, having the Keystone Pipeline a go is huge for me. Working in the trades, that's why I love Trump.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask, Democrats this election around have been focusing on how Donald Trump is allegedly a threat to democracy. Have you heard this stuff, and what do you make of that attack by Democrats?
I think he was already the president for 4 years, so if he was a threat to democracy, it would have happened already.
Absolutely. What do you make of Democrats who say, between that and January 6th, this stuff disqualifies him from being president?
I just think that's BS, personally. I don't think he had anything to do with it.
Absolutely. Kamala Harris, if elected, she would be the first female vice president, this so-called last glass ceiling. Does that matter to you at all that she's a woman?
No, I have 2 sisters and a mom. I love women, just not her. She's not the one.
Absolutely. Democrats' other pitch around has really been about so-called women's rights when it comes to abortion. What do you think of that being the main pitch by Democrats this election cycle?
I don't know. That's not my place to speak on that. I don't know. I just don't think that basically abortion should be a form of birth control. I think it's a specified case where it should be in use. It shouldn't just be due to misuse of our female and male body parts.
Absolutely. Last thing I wanted to ask you about is Trump's VP pick. We got J.D. Vance. What do you think of J.D.?
He's extremely articulate. He's very well spoken, and I think he's the perfect story of coming from literally nothing.
Yeah. Not only coming from nothing, but coming around from being an anti-Trump, a never-Trumper in the past.
Yeah.
Have you heard this stuff? Does it matter that he was never Trump in the past?
Yeah, I think basically I've had discussions about it before. It's a lesser of two, I don't want to say two evils, but it's kind of when you have these 2 selections, I think that obviously he has a clear choice of picking Trump, and he changed his mindset on that. Originally, my family and I, we were Ben Carson fans, and that kind of, when Trump got the ticket, then that's who our guy was. We weren't for Biden or Kamala Harris.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you want to mention?
No, I'm good.
Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Have a good one. Thank you, guys. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode. Let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments. If this is your first time here, guys, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, stay barely informed.